Aiming can be tough. There's good news though. Aiming is winner takes all. It's a measure of how long it takes to finish an opponent. This means that any small improvement in speed will level you above a host of other players, and that's what we're here to help you with. Hello everyone, I'm Matchax, and today we're going to go over the top 10 tips to bring your aim to the next level. Let's get started. Number 1 is the foundation of headshots, crosshair placement. You want to pre-aim your crosshair at head level and where you expect opponents to be. It can make hitting your shots super easy. I see a lot of players with their crosshair down here while they are running around. If you do that, you have to flick up constantly to find headshots, which is unnecessarily difficult. I don't know how you play like this, but I'm always very impressed. But just imagine how much better your aim will be when you apply this tip. Your crosshair should be at head level most of the time and where you expect to see opponents. Number 2 builds off of number 1, and that is to pre-fire common angles. If you want to gain a ridiculous advantage, you can begin pre-firing common angles that people usually play. This will give you a massive advantage because the other guy won't have enough time to react. An example of a good spot to pre-fire are these boxes on B Ascent. People play here all the time, and you can get a super easy free frag if you just pre-fire this spot. Number 3 is standing still when you fire. In Valorant, there is movement inaccuracy. When you're just running around, most of your shots are going to be nowhere near your crosshair. While crouching and stopping may take care of this, most pros also embrace counter-strafing, which is a movement technique to stop sooner than if you had just let go of the directional keys. Essentially, you hold left, then tap right, and vice versa to become accurate. This is faster than just waiting for your character to stop moving. If you haven't learned it yet, then I highly recommend that you do so. Number 4 is positioning, so you only have to see one angle. A common mistake I see is standing where an opponent can peek from 2 angles, especially in the chaos of afterplant. This is not a good plan, because you can only put your crosshair on one angle at a time. Oftentimes, players will rapidly switch from angle to angle, which is just asking to get timing. Or aim in the middle, which makes for a very difficult shot no matter what. There's no good answer here. And that's why only watching a single angle at a time is much easier, because you won't have to make an awkward flick to a different angle. You can place your crosshair on one angle and concentrate on one area. If you have to watch 2 angles, don't peek 2 entrances. Instead, line up your angles such that both players will cross your screen at the same point. In the clip you can see right now, a player that comes from the left and a player that comes from the right will cross my screen at roughly the same point. Coincidentally, this is an excellent method to land collats. Tip number 5 has to do with autopilot. A lot of players have better focus than they think, but they are just on autopilot. Our brain naturally automates tasks. This means you might be peeking that angle and checking that corner, but you're not really looking to see if an opponent is there. You're just doing it out of habit. A great way to break this cycle of inattention is to take a quick break or play a different game. Then, when you come back to Valorant, you will have to naturally readjust and pay attention. This is part of why someone might think that their aim improves directly after changing their crosshair. Number 6 has to do with wide peeking. A lot of players have a bad habit of wide peeking and crouching. I used to do this because I was afraid I wouldn't peek out far enough, but wide peeking is not that much better. If you make a wide peek, you're basically 100% committed. It's very difficult to back out if you start losing the duel. On top of that, you will expose yourself to multiple angles, and if you're stuck in the open looking at 2 enemy players, that is not a good situation. Instead, shallower peeks can net a lot more frags. That's not at all to say you never wide peek. You need a variety of different peeking styles, but wide peeking just should not be the default. Number 7 is confidence. In Valorant, gunfights are quick and finding headshots is everything. You have to trust your aim. It's easy to become discouraged by a particularly bad potato. Don't lock yourself in that mental box that you are having a bad game or are a bad player. Instead, you have to shake it off and forget about it. If teammates or opponents try to drag you down or make fun of you, don't pay attention to them. Just focus on doing your thing. You got this. This is one of the reasons that players can have worse second halves than first halves, because their confidence will decay over time. You definitely don't want that to happen to you, and if it is, you should stop it as soon as you can. You may think that confidence is not a way to improve, because it's a mentality, not a mechanic, right? Being confident will decrease the amount of time you spend thinking about doing something, and instead you'll just actually do it. While I mentioned before that autopilot could be a bad thing, autopilot is bad for awareness. For actual point-and-click aim, autopilot will tend to be a good thing, because it will be much faster than if you think about it. A lack of confidence can inhibit your natural talent by blocking that autopilot. Our number 8 tip is learning spray patterns. All of them. In Valorant, your bullets don't land where your crosshair is in a spray. They follow set patterns with a little variation. You can go to the range and find the spray training area where you can practice your spray patterns. This will allow you to have accurate bursts and sprays. This is important because you can have very good point and click aim or crosshair placement, but if you don't get a frag on the first shot, you need to know where the other bullets will go. Number 9 is relaxing and taking your time. All weapons have firing inaccuracy and need a short amount of time to reset. Spam clicking is not going to be accurate. Tap firing gives your weapon a short amount of time to reset and become accurate in line with your crosshair again. In addition, there is a common mistake that many players make when they see multiple opponents, or when they have an expertly timed flank, or a stealthy trigger discipline play, which can derail a potential highlight reel play. That is to aim in the middle of opponents. When you see multiple opponents, you need to pick one, start with that one, finish that one, move to the next, rinse and repeat. Aiming in the middle is not going to help you at all. So just take a deep breath and go one at a time. This is one that I have not been able to entirely cut out of my game. I still do it from time to time. Don't let that impact your confidence. In addition, rigid and stiff muscles are going to be slower than loose and relaxed muscles. Being relaxed should improve your speed. Our last tip, and possibly the most important tip, is to get enough sleep. As much as I hate to say it, being tired and sluggish decreases reaction time and makes us slow and unfocused. Very few players can persist playing well late at night, and almost none play as well as they would when they are fully rested. In order to have the incredible aim you want, being well rested is an excellent step if you haven't taken it yet. Those are our top 10 tips to bring your aims to the next level. They are designed to better your aim by solving problems you perhaps hadn't thought of. We hope that they will help you improve and that you got some value out of this video. Have a great day and see you next time.